Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on.
Turn it up.
What you're about to hear may cause your speakers to explode.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight is another episode in our Frank Zappa series. BM Boldt is back. Tonight we are 1982 and 1983. We are taking a look at Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch and the Man From Utopia. We want to hear from you in the chat. Let's get started.
Grant is trying to change the world one track at a time. Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
And I just have to laugh. I hit that intro and it didn't start playing, and I hit it again, and then we popped up, and then I hit it again, and dumb ass buttons. I hate buttons. Trying to be cool on this show, and not cool. Not cool at all. Mr. BM Boldt, how are you?
Pretty good. I can't complain.
Good. Well, it's nice to see you here again because, we were just talking before we started to record, and Byron said it was 3 years ago we started this?
Yeah, December
3 years ago, and here we are, still plugging away every month with a Zappa show.
Roughly, yeah. We I don't know. We've maybe got 5 or 6 more before we just say screw it.
We'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are in 1982 and 83. We're pretty late. If you watched our last show, I was giddy as a schoolgirl because that was, I love that record. That was a good record. Show him that record, Byron.
That's right here.
I love that record. It's a good record.
Not as much as you loved this one.
I dislike that record. We're going to play a couple of tracks tonight. I don't know. We might play this other track. We'll
see how things shake out.
We'll see how it goes. We might pay a little bonus track. I don't know. We'll see. But the first record, Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch. This record, I believe this is the 35th release from Frank.
35, yes.
We've got studio tracks, we've got live recordings, and as we've went through this journey, Byron, we see a lot of Frank's albums always have studio tracks and live recordings.
Yeah.
So I guess side 2 captured during the 1981 fall U.S. tour. And then side 1's what's his studio called? Utility Muffin Research Kitchen Studio.
UMRK. Yep.
Yeah. But what I understand it, I'm going to let you talk more about it, but I understand that this was supposed to be a larger project that the record company came in and said, hey, no, we're not going to do a 2-record set. We're doing a 1-record set. What do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really take too many notes on that particular topic, but I believe that a lot of this was, there was that crush all boxes thing still, and warts and all. I think some of this is probably still left over from that. Mm-hmm. This got it was released May 3rd of 82, but it was recorded from September of 81 to April of 82 and got to number 23, which was pretty dang good for a Zappa album.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Oh, well, you know why that is.
Valley Girl got to number 12 in the mainstream rock and 32 in the pop singles. So that was his biggest hit, probably, wasn't it? I don't think he ever had.
I would say that's the biggest one. Yeah. Now, I have that track geared up in case we want to play it. I kind of want to play it just for the hell of it, because
maybe we'll get to it. Yeah.
Look, Byron's hesitant about playing Valley Girl.
Everybody knows that one. That's why
I know, but what the hell?
Yeah, I know.
Come on, loosen up, Byron.
Let's start with the first track here in a minute, because you got that one queued up as well.
I'm ready to go.
We'll play them in order then.
Right.
So actually the CD and the vinyl, all the CD versions and the vinyl versions match on this. Man From Utopia is going to be a whole other story. But it doesn't matter if you own the vinyl or the CD of this; they're all the exact same for the most part. This has got like Frank's on it, Steve Vai, who I think is listed as playing
Roy Estrada.
Impossible guitar parts, which we will kind of discuss a little bit of that as we go. But yeah, Roy Estrada does a lot of vocals on here. Ray White, Tommy Mars, Bobby Martin, keys.
Patrick O'Hearn.
Yeah, Ed Mann, who's stellar on these. Scott Tunis, Arthur Barrow, like I said, Patrick O'Hearn. So 3 different bassists. Chad Wackerman on drums. Ike Willis on vocals, Bob Harris on high vocals, Lisa Popeil, which we'll probably talk about her a little bit, and Moon, of course, on Valley Girl. And she might do a little backing. I don't think.
I don't know.
She did a little backing on the previous album, though. But yeah, so the first track on here is going to be No Not Now, and Grant's going to probably play that for us.
I'm going to play it. Let's play it right now. We'll get right into it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards.
All right, cool. So let us know what you think on this. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Flo and Eddie, and I don't know why, but I think you probably know why. They're not on it, but it seems very Flo and Eddie-ish to me. All right, let's just play. Here we go.
Falsetto. It's a very vocal-oriented track, but we'll talk about that.
Just a break.
Yeah, jumped right into that.
Abruptly stop.
It's a good edit there.
Well, I'm gonna change them so they fade out, so it's not so abrupt.
Yeah, that's a pretty dang accessible song for Zappa in some ways. And in other ways, it's vocal mayhem going on throughout that thing, But it's catchy as hell, though.
Yeah.
There's so much falsetto vocals, like you said, with the Flo and Eddie sound. And just so many themes going on, and it breaks into the string beans to Utah.
It seems kind of chaotic, though, but I guess there seems to be a certain logic to it, I guess. I don't know.
The ending is just pandemonium with the Royce just screaming, and everybody's got a different vocal thing going on.
It's nice but you know what, Byron? It's nice to have Roy doing those falsetto vocals.
Yeah, he's on this album, and he's going to be on the next album that we're going to talk about tonight too. So, but Roy's in jail. He went to jail, and then he got out of jail, and then he's back in jail.
Well, why was Roy going in and out of jail?
Because he's a pedophile.
Oh,
I think he's still alive, but I think he's in jail again. I don't think he's ever getting out this time. So.
I didn't know that. Wait a minute. Prog Rock dude said he died.
Okay, so he's dead
earlier this year. How did I miss that? I didn't know that he was I don't know if we can say that.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, we probably can't say that.
Yeah, we'll probably get better watch it.
But yeah, he got out, and then he got arrested a second time for that. And I think the second time they weren't going to let him out again.
But Frank still had him in there singing, though.
This was all before that.
This was before that. So he ended up finding a hobby, I see, though it was frowned upon. I see. All right. But okay. We'll just save it there.
He had that distinctive high falsetto voice from the early Mothers albums. And on these albums, he did some work with Frank, though, in the mid 70s too, on, around the Zoot Allures period. And I think he might be a little bit on Chic Your Booty. I can't remember.
I do believe he was.
If you ever watch Baby Snakes, the movie, Frank, Roy's in that at that he's on stage during that concert. I think it was recorded in New York, but so he was with Frank on and off over the years. But yeah, so that's a pretty decent opening track.
I agree.
And I don't know, did you want to? So the next track is Valley Girl, and I think Grant wants to play it. Everybody probably knows it, but it's such a good song. We'll go ahead and play it.
Let's just play it. Should we play Valley Girl just for the hell of it, kids? Come on. It's like a mini listening party tonight. I'm playing it. I don't give a shit. Let me make sure it's set up correctly so we don't have any issues. All right, we're just doing it. Valley Girl, ladies and gentlemen.
Frank's biggest hit.
It's fun. You know, it's awfully heavy track if you think about it. You get rid of Moon,
Yeah.
it's pretty
I mean,
heavy.
that bass is just driving that song.
Now, is that Patrick playing that?
I believe so, because I think no. I mean, I think it's Scott Tunis. But
Okay.
I don't know that for a fact because
Well, I think it's a fretless bass. I'm pretty sure it's fretless, but it's really overdriven.
I think the studio stuff is mostly Tunis. But I
Okay.
could be wrong about that. And I think that the live stuff probably could be O'Hearn.
Bob says it's Scott.
Okay.
I mean, Bobo.
There you go. Bobo. Glad to
Bobo
have
Quisp.
his expertise
Like the-
here. Fill in the
Bobo
gaps.
Quisp,
for
like
me.
the cereal. Jay, nice to see you.
Yeah,
I
the
do want to thank
problem is
everybody
this-
for tuning in tonight.
Yeah, the problem is there's 3 bass players listed on this album.
Ah.
You kind of can maybe figure it out based on the chronology of who was in the band at different times. But yeah, that's such that's a rocking tune, really, in the driving bass. And Moon was begging Frank to let her do something on the record, so he came up with a song and said, "Okay, go wing it," and she kind of winged it. And it all, the rest is history.
Well, yeah, 100%. Well, Byron, what's your thoughts on the rest of this record?
Yeah, these are both fairly short records, and there's only going to be 3 songs on this side. And the next track's called "I Come From Nowhere," which is a little over 6 minutes. And
You got Roy again.
this thing, it starts out as this kind of straight ahead rocker, but it just completely starts to go off the rails as it goes along. And you got Roy singing this thing, and he's like singing off key on purpose, basically throughout the song. And there's all these strange meters and dissonance in the track. And I feel like Frank's kind of testing you to see how long you can keep going on this song and still want to listen to it, because it just keeps going off the rails. And it ends with this long, aggressive guitar solo of Frank's, which really rocks out. I like the track. It's weird at times, but
It's weird.
He says, "I come from nowhere," he's just off key. And there's a lot of that on this album and the next album too, this off key singing. And some people may not like that, but I kind of dig it. It depends. It depends though. But that's the end of side 1. So what do you think of that track?
I don't have a problem with it. I like the guitar solo in it. I think, what did I write? It's very, the lyrics are very oddball, but it's eccentric. I mean, it's more of this rock vein. See, after the previous record, it seems like we're continuing into that rock vein. It's not, these records are much more straightforward, but I think it's a decent, I think this whole side's decent.
Yeah, it's solid.
No, Not Now, Valley Girl, I Come From Nowhere. I think probably the biggest complaint about this whole record that we haven't brought up, but it's only 35 minutes long.
Yeah, so they were both. I think they might have been they were on an EMI twofer, I think, originally.
Okay.
CD, I think. Fairly certain about that because they're both pretty short. But let's get the side.
Well, the other thing is that I want to bring up is that this was, like I said, this was supposed to be part of a larger project, Chalk Pie. I don't know what the track listing was for that, and I don't know if it was stronger in the, original state. I don't know. Do you know anything about that?
I remember reading about Chalk Pie as well, but I'd have to go back and research that one because I don't remember. Because like I said, prior to this, there was the whole Warts and All and the other one. And then he would propose a lot of albums and they'd get shelved and configured. Like Neil Young did a shit.
Just like Neil Young.
Yeah. And now Neil's releasing all those as the way he originally intended. But I don't know. But yeah. So Neil's just trying to make more money, I think. More power to him.
So side 2 that we were talking about is all live. So it starts out with The Drowning Witch, which is a 12-minute epic.
Yes.
This is probably the whole centerpiece of the whole thing. And it's a prog fusion monster as far as I'm concerned. What more could you say?
Yeah. I didn't like this song for a long time. but the older I get, the more I appreciate it, to be honest with you.
I don't
Probably
have
because it
any
was
issues
so
with it.
damn long. But my notes say this may be Frank's most difficult song. And when he played it live, he'd say, okay, well, let's all get organized here because this song's really going to be hard to play. And I don't know if they played it a lot, but they played it that tour. And because this thing consists of 6 parts and it was pieced together from 15 different shows on the tour because it was so hard and they couldn't get enough, they was like, well, we're going to have to find 15 different shows to get enough good takes of these different pieces to have something we can put on the record. And, and then they added a lot of overdubs to it as well. But did you have anything you want to say about it? I've got some descriptions.
Oh, I like it because it is very complicated.
Yeah.
And it just seems kind of odd that, well, you've got mostly side one basically of rock numbers. That stuff I don't think is too overly complicated, really. The bass playing might be. But this is kind of way on it's a different animal, is what I'm saying. But I like it quite a bit.
Yeah. It starts out as kind of just a rock song. This is a ship arriving too late to save a drowning, which just kind of this melodic little thing. But then after a little bit of that, then he starts doing that off-key singing, which is all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
But so that goes on for a little while. But then we break into the part 2, which is one of your patented Zappa complicated instrumental sections, and that goes on for a little while. But then he breaks into this 3.5 heavy guitar solo with a lot of tremolo, dive bombing and stuff. He's doing a lot of tremolo work on that.
Well, is that Frank or is that Steve Vai?
No,
because
Frank. It's all Frank.
Well, maybe. I know that he's credited as lead guitar on it, but a lot of it really sounds like the tonality of Steve Vai.
But, yeah, I mean, what Steve does on these is really, and we'll get to, is the complicated guitar lines that Frank could not play.
Okay.
But yeah, so that solo goes on for, like I said, 3.5 minutes. And then we go back to another short, complex instrumental section. But then we go into more of a traditional Frank solo, like he, I don't know if that even makes any sense, a traditional solo.
Well, you mean a solo that there's not, the first one has a lot of effects on it.
Yeah. It's heavier.
Or flanger and all that, whatever.
The second one's more restrained and laid back
Yes.
and more clean sounding. But then the finale, which is part 6, is about 1 minute long, and it starts out kind of like a waltz. But then it just starts going a little crazy and builds up to this climax. Like I said, I like this song way better than I used to. Now it's like, wow, this is really cool.
Well, what was it about it that turned you off originally?
I think it was the length of it, and I probably wasn't appreciative of the guitar solos as much originally.
Well, all right, I get it.
But yeah, it's grown on me.
All right, cool.
And then that jumps right into the next track, Envelopes, which is 246. That actually dates back to 1970. That's when he first wrote it.
I thought it went back to 1968.
Well, it could be, but according to my notes, 70s. It may have originated even before that. It's one of his atonal classical style pieces. There's a 78 version from the Hammersmith Odeon that has lyrics. There's another version on the London Symphony Orchestra album, which is, all classical. But this is a live rock band version. It's real complex, and I like it. It's real enjoyable.
I don't have a problem with it.
Long.
It's 2 minutes and 46 seconds. I mean, it's fine. It's all right. What about Teenage Prostitute?
Yeah, so the album ends with that. Another 243. So like I said, this is fairly short. It's live, like you had mentioned. And Lisa Popeil comes out and sings on it. These don't sound like live tracks really because you don't hear the crowd. But
Well, they're great recordings. I was going to mention that. For a live recording, I mean, it could have been in the studio for all that mattered,
So Lisa Popeil sings this, and she's got like a soprano, like classical voice. So Lisa Popeil is the daughter of Ron Popeil from Ronco. Remember Ronco back in the 70s?
You mean Ronco Records? Or you mean
Record
Ronco?
the Pocket Fisherman? He'd sell all that
Mr.
stuff on
Microphone,
TV.
things like
Yeah,
that?
he'd sell all that televisions. He'd do those TV commercials where he'd sell stuff, and that was her dad. So that's kind of her other claim to fame. So it's kind of an operatic tune, but it's also kind of punk, and it's got like the Batman, kind of like a Batman theme going on. It's just fast, high energy, and it's about a girl who's a teenage prostitute, and she's singing this really high voice, and then Bobby Martin's coming in, and he's doing like a male operatic voice, and it's a pretty good track. It's short, sweet, fast, energetic. I like it.
But how would you how would you rate this record? I guess we could have everybody rate it like we normally do. Who knows this album? Let me get that up because I wasn't thinking that. I don't know.
I
What's
should
your
be
whole
going
thoughts
back and
about it?
comparing others. I should be going and comparing other albums that I like about the same to see what I gave them, because I feel like the longer this goes, I'm scoring things a little higher than I should. But I'm going to give this an 8.5. I really like it.
8.5.
Yeah. I feel bad. I feel maybe I should go a little higher, but I don't think I should go with that.
I don't think 8.5 seems pretty high. I mean, if you look at a lot of the reviews over the years, this has got a lot of mixed reviews. And I'm just wondering if it gets a mixed review because it's a single album and there's long tracks on it that take up the majority of the record. And I think people may look at it like we're getting, it's 35 minutes long and we're only getting so many, 3 tracks on side 1, 3 on side 2.
Yeah,
I think, I don't know.
But what do you not like on this album?
There's nothing I dislike on it.
See, so it's like, well, shit, I can't give it like a 5 or a 6. But I like every song on here.
There's nothing on here I dislike. I don't. It's just, it is what it is. I know, but for some reason, why does it seem to get that?
I think
it just seems like a less, a Zappa release always seems to be such a big, majestic thing, and this just doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, it's short. It's kind of a little more straight ahead rock and roll at times.
Yeah,
but
8.2.
But there's some weird stuff on here too. But it's a little more accessible at times, is I think maybe why some people didn't like it. I don't know. I don't. Zappa fans are kind of weird creatures. It's like prog or something too. It's like, well, that's not 90125, not proggy enough. Well, fuck, it's still a good album.
Well, the one thing that I do have to give it a higher rating before is because Drowning Witch, the fact that they took 15 different edits to make what they did, I think that's it's magic almost, because it sounds very cohesive, even though it's from all these different takes. I applaud them. I don't know. I don't know why. Even I kind of look at it and, you listen to it, it sounds all right. But then again, on paper, you kind of look at it and go, it just seems like it's half-assed. Maybe it's too ambitious for one record, because it seems like it has a lot going on side 2. Well, there's a lot going on side 1. It just seems to me, I don't want to say it's uneven.
Yeah, I didn't want to go 8.5, but I was like, God, I really like everything on here. I mean, I can't take too much off.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I could give this an 8 and be happy with it. I don't. It just seems a bit. It seems very ambitious, and I think it could have used another record. I just feel like it deserves more. I know that just sounds silly, but it's kind of how I look at it. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. This is a hard record to really. I'm going with an 8. Anybody? Okay, so we have an 8.2. We've got an 8 from Gary Joyce. Anybody else that knows this record want to weigh in on it real quick?
Didn't I see an 8.2 from,
Yeah, I got everything. I'm going to go with an 8.
Not getting a lot of scores tonight, but maybe nobody's watching.
I don't know how well this record sold a lot, but then how many people really paid attention to this record? Like hardcore Zappa people. It just doesn't seem like this album.
Did you see this one in the cutout bin quite a bit? I think I did.
I don't remember.
I think I did.
Okay, like here, okay. Mrs. B on Boldt. Dave, if he wears earbud, he wears because he wears earbud. What do you do? Dave, if he does, he wears earbuds because I can't handle 97% of Zappa's catalog. Bob says it's good, but not a fave. See, do you think that maybe this record is one of those records that is stronger? The parts are stronger than the album as a whole. That's what I think.
Maybe people don't like the album cover.
Well, yeah, I don't think the album cover doesn't scream by me.
No.
I think that might have a lot to do with it. Jeff's coming in with a 7. We're going to take that.
Yeah, maybe people resent
I think that's what it is. As an album, I think it lacks, but the tracks, there's nothing wrong with the tracks. I like each individual track, but together. But side 1 flows pretty good, but I wish I had 2 more tracks on side 1 that would fit all together. I think it's good by itself, but as an album, it lacks. That's my thought. It could be
too that there's no classic Zappa tunes. I mean, you could say Valley Girl's
Valley Girl's a classic Zappa song.
But that's not a classic Zappa tune. It's more of a it was a successful
everybody it's as popular as Don't Eat Yellow Snow.
Yeah, but it's not a Inca Roads. It's not a Black Napkins. It's not.
Well, it's more of a pop tune.
Yeah,
a heavy pop tune. Bob says it's the vocals that keep this record down.
Yeah, they're an acquired thing with I don't know if he's talking about the high vocals or if he's talking about the off-key vocals.
What are you talking about, Bob? Off-key, or are you talking about the Flo and Eddie's type vocals from Roy? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
He says, let's move on to the
all of them. All of them. Okay. Fair enough. All right, so we didn't get a lot of weigh in tonight, but it's fine. I don't give a shit. We got a 7.94. I think a 7.94 is fair for this record. Wait a minute. Al's saying, would you call Valley Girl a novelty song? Well, if it got played on Dr. Demento, I would say yes, it is.
It's like Yellow Snow is kind of a novelty song as well, in my opinion.
But didn't this get a lot of play on Dr. Demento?
I think they even did this on like Solid Gold or something. There's a video of her doing it, I think, on Solid Gold.
Maybe, whatever. Get Moon out there. But Moon did come on, let's be honest. For her to come in and just totally do it on the spot, great job. Phenomenal. Great song. It's great. I like it. All right, let's go to our next record. All right, so 7.94, I'm fine with that. That's fine. We're going to go to 1983, The Man From Utopia. And like Byron was saying, that this record is an interesting thing. This is the 36th album, just under a year. It continues that 80s experimental streak that we're in. So it does incorporate tracks from Chalk Pie Project. Now, I'm not sure which tracks were part of it, but maybe he just split the thing in 2. I don't know.
I'm going to research that after the fact.
Yeah, but I do know there's some Chalk Pie tracks on here, but I don't know.
I think I might have had a bootleg where it was called Chalk Pie too. I'd have to go back and look.
So we're going to go through the tracks, but the original vinyl, ladies and gentlemen, was 36 minutes long. The 1993 CD remix, so it was remixed in 93, and has a bonus track, Luigi and the Wise Guys, and it reshuffles the order, and then it extends it to 40 minutes.
Yeah, and some songs are longer and some are shorter than they originally were. He changed a lot of stuff on this. I kind of wrote some of it down as we go through it, but yeah, all the CDs are. You probably should have the original vinyl and a CD. Now the EMI CD is pretty close to the vinyl, I guess, but Moggio was remixed. Like I mentioned, there is a twofer with Drowning Witch CD. But yeah, all the other CDs are completely remixed and have the bonus track and the links.
So wait a minute, remind me, was the twofer was the Ryko a
EMI.
twofer? The EMI was a twofer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think those were I think that those were released maybe in Europe. I don't know if they were released in the States. And Frank wasn't happy about it. I think he was trying to prevent it because I think he wanted to do it himself, with Ryko. And this ended up on Barking Pumpkin, though, because this was 93. This was probably right before he died. Yeah. So that might be part of the issues we're dealing with here.
When we were, see, what did I buy? I do have the EMI CD because we were talking about that. Shit, what was it? What did I buy that was the EMI version? God, the brain is terrible today. No, actually, I bought the EMI. Okay. God, you think I would remember? There's a lot going on in the warehouse. You Are What You Is. I did end up getting the EMI version because remember we talked about it?
Yeah,
and you mentioned that the EMI version is probably the closest to the vinyl. There are sites out there that talk about the Zappa CDs. What sounds good? All the different variations.
I frequent that site whenever we do a show.
So that EMI CD of that really does sound it's very warm sounding, very vinyl-like. I think if you are looking for that, I'm sure that the 2012 CD is fine, but that EMI CD, it's actually pretty nice. So I'd like to hear. So I'm assuming Man From Utopia. I know we're on a tangent as far as CDs, but I'm assuming that was also. Well, wait a minute. I'm looking. You said there's an EMI version of it?
Of which one? The
Man From Utopia.
Is both of these a twofer? This and
the twofer. Okay, okay. That's what I need to look up. All right. Well, I'll look it up, but maybe I'd like to hear what those sound like.
Anyway. All right. Well, we should probably
keep going.
Should we play? The cover is based. Well, I don't know why Frank's all
buffed
out here, but it's kind of a take on a show that they were doing in Italy. The famous show where the big riot breaks out with the cops in the crowd and they're like shooting tear gas into the crowd. And then there's like I don't know if it was the exact same show or different. There's all these mosquitoes attacking the band on stage. So Frank's got the fly swatter and he's swatting off the mosquitoes. And like I said, in the back of this back picture, you can see there's like tear gas and mayhem going on in the crowd. But it's a really cool cover.
I will say this: when this came out and I first saw this album cover, to be quite honest, I like this cover better than Utopia cover. I just thought the Utopia cover just seemed kind of half-baked to me. I just didn't get it.
Maybe DC can chime in on that.
Where is DC, damn it?
He doesn't watch these episodes for the most part.
No, he's no help, damn him. Anyway, shall we play a track?
Just one or two quick notes.
Okay.
The musicians on this are basically the same as on the studio stuff for the Drowning Witch album, because I think it's basically the same band, and this was recorded not that long after that. Although some of this was recorded in 80 and 81, but it's mostly the same musicians. So yeah, the first, what were we going to play?
Well, like I said, this is most of it I think is part of Chalk Pie. I think this is all this stuff that we're listening to tonight's all related. Though I can't find a track listing of the original track breakdown, but whatever.
Well, let's talk about the first 4 songs, because you're going to play the 5th song, I thought.
Yeah. Well, we're going to play, but we've got, shit. What did we play? Oh, yeah, We Are Not Alone's the last. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we'll play. keep
We'll
going.
get through these pretty quick.
All right.
First track on here is Cocaine Decisions. I think that was a single. Didn't do much. It's about 4 minutes. Now, it's 3:53 on the CD. It's 2:56 on the vinyl. It's a slower track with a real pulsing bass line. You got some harmonica. An anti-drug song about how other people's drug use affects Frank's life, because he can't rely on them and whatnot. Frank sings it. The longer version has an instrumental section in the middle and an extra verse. And that's between the vinyl and the CD.
Do you have a preference?
I don't have the vinyl. I think I did look I did look these up on YouTube to see the difference. Give me the longer one. I usually take the longer one. The next track is Sex.
Well, I mean, really, I'm kind of really curious because if I'm going to I want a copy of this that I think would be the definite. I don't know what the definite version of this, to be quite honest.
If you get the CD, you get the bonus track. So
yeah, I guess that's a definite version.
I would recommend getting both the vinyl and the CD. But so the next track, Sex, 3:44 on the CD, 3 minutes on the vinyl.
And don't forget that they changed the track lineup.
Oh, they may have. Yeah, I'm going off the CD version here.
Okay.
The CD version has longer verses, so there's not like extra verses. The verses just have more, like another line or two in them. It's a real slow riff-based song. It's basically about sex and full of sex references. He's singing, the bigger the cushion, the better the pushing. I don't think it's a very good song, to be honest with you.
Because the original record, Dangerous Kitchen, was the second track.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's all right. Just
I'm going to be going through this in the CD order. So
all right, just go through them. That's fine.
Yeah, and then the next track, Tink Walks Amok. I like that track. 3:39. It's the same on both versions. It's an instrumental track, mostly with drums and I think multiple bass parts. I don't know if there's guitar. There might be some guitar in this. One of the bass parts is in like 11/16, and it's kind of like funky, like some popping going on a little bit. It's fairly tame for an instrumental, for a Zappa instrumental, but for most bands, it's still, I'd say, pretty experimental. I kind of like that though. Yeah. And then, so the fourth track is The Radio Is Broken, which is 5 minutes and 51 seconds. Okay, I'm going to call this, because I was doing some research, I'm going to call this a recitative song, meaning he's doing reciting.
Well, it's spoken word.
Yes. So it's Frank and Roy, and they're kind of doing spoken word back and forth stuff, and they're in this off-key, alternating, and they're both doing this off-key stuff. But there's these real cool instrumental sections that get interspersed throughout it, which I like a lot. And the topics are real strange, about going into space mostly, and it's pretty good at times, but I think it goes on a little too long. What did you think of that one?
I don't have a problem with it at all. It's one of the more, shall we say, absurd tracks on the record.
It's out there.
It's out there, kids. I mean, it's. Am I surprised it's on here? No, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with this record at all. So it's not like I have to listen to The Radio Is Broken over and over again. Let's just say that. Not as bad as Revolution Number 9, but it's not a favorite track on here by any means. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, I guess I kind of like it, except I think it just goes on a little too long.
Yeah, it could be edited down.
But so that leads us to the last track, I think, on the it might have been the last track on the first side. I don't know.
I think that's the last track on the first side, because the side 2 starts up with Man From Utopia meets Mary Lou on the vinyl.
So this is called We Are Not Alone. It's 3:18 on the CD, 3:31 on the vinyl, so not much different. It's a real melodic sax-driven instrumental, and it's not a typical Frank song. It's this is catchy and straightforward instrumental. It's not like weird, complicated stuff. It's there's a sax theme. Like theme 1 is like sax, and there's a second theme which is very marimba vibes, and there might be some violin. At least it sounds like violins. But we're gonna play that now. Check it out. I think.
Now I want to mention that you said this on the CD. That's the 5th cut, but if you look at the original vinyl, that ends the whole record. That's the last track on the record. But it doesn't matter. It's
Why
all.
do you do all this? I don't understand.
I don't know why he modified. God, I wish we could just ask somebody. Does anybody know in the chat why this was so extensively reimagined? I don't know. Let's play it. Here we go. We are not. It's very. I don't want to say commercial, but for Frank Zappa, that's pretty commercial sounding. And it, as soon as you hear it, it has that type of melody that is just keep humming it along all day.
I've been humming it all week, man. I can't get it out of my head.
It's catchy, you know. I like it.
Deep
sometimes
sax.
I like, but I like sometimes when Zappa's not so out there. See, what I liked about We're Only in It for the Money, Absolutely Free, is not every track is way out there. It's much, this 80s stuff, I think, is much more along the lines of the Mothers. And maybe the material back in the Mothers of Invention days, and I'm talking the original Mothers, was the way it is because maybe those guys weren't like the best players on the planet. Obviously, by now we have the best players on the planet. But I just think that this stuff is a lot more hooky. I guess I like this 80s stuff. You know, where a lot of people don't.
I didn't think
I like it.
I didn't think you were going to dig it.
I kind of dig it. I think it's refreshing. I like to hear Frank produce an instrumental that's a lot more down to earth and more accessible. Because if you listen to a lot of those tracks on the Mothers, We're Only in It for the Money. The whole record is hooky. Absolutely Free is hooky. Great melodies. I love all that stuff. And, you know, I just think that maybe he got way out there. I mean, I'm not taking away from, I'm on a tirade, aren't I? I'm not taking away anything from those other records, but I kind of like this little toned down, back down to earth kind of thing. So I don't. Okay. I wish the saxes sounded much better than they do here. Wasn't that a bass sax? Baritone. It really reminds me of Wizard. You ever hear any Roy Wood Wizard? It reminds me of Wizard.
Baritones. There might have been multiple saxes there, but one definitely was the baritone.
There you go. I dig this track. First time hearing it, been holding off streaming this album till I get it. Well, I really have nothing to bitch about. That's your biggest gripe in the saxes, okay? Because the interplay with the marimbas and the guitar was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Wizard, but it kind of reminds me of Wizard, just the sax tonality. I love Roy Wood. Yeah, I like that track, obviously.
I wanted to play that. Then I wanted to play another one too. So we better get moving here. We're almost at an hour, Grant. Jeez.
I know. Well, we've been going long in the warehouse because we've been rapping hard. We did a show the other night in the Contrarians and went an hour and a half, but it was a fabulous. I'm sorry, but there have been some great discussions lately. And it's just been everybody just getting together and just talking music. And there's been a lot of interaction. I don't know. Everything's been really good. I'm not saying that any of these shows are knocking it out of the park. I'm just saying it's just been a lot of great music discussions lately. So should we just go? What do you want to just go and talk about the next track we're going to play?
Yeah, let's start talking about the last few tracks on here.
Okay.
So we're going to start out here with The Dangerous Kitchen. Okay, this is another one of these songs where Frank is reciting words. He's talking about the hazards of being in your kitchen, basically. And he's just, I don't know if he makes a lot of this stuff up as he goes, because he's just kind of making up the words and I think the melody as he goes. And it's kind of got that off key stuff going on again. Well, there's really not, I don't know so much a key because there's really nothing going on musically behind it originally. So the way this worked was they would record this and then Frank would give it to Steve Vai and Vai would transcribe every note that Frank spoke of all the words. even oh yeah, you say a word, he'd kind of change the key of the note during the word. And so Vi would transcribe all this. So it's basically, then they would have Vi play those notes. So he's doubling whatever Frank spoke, and you got to hear it. I'm not doing a good job describing it, maybe, but that's basically it. It's
we should have played that.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
It's fine. It's fine.
But so it's Vi doubling everything that.
But
Frank
you've heard
said.
Steve Vai on Flexible. Steve Vai does the same thing where he mimics the vocal line playing the guitar.
Yeah, he did
Same
that
kind of thing.
So Happy was a song that he did like that. And there was one or two others, maybe. Yeah. So if you've heard those albums,
I love Flexible.
So the next track is a medley of the Man from Utopia and Mary Lou. So Man from Utopia meets Mary Lou. I guess these were old 50s tracks. It's pretty good. They sound like old school 50s songs, but with more modern production. They're both pretty good songs, and they just at least they lead, one segues into the other, and I like it. You like it?
Yeah, I don't have a problem. Fine. It's very straightforward. Yeah. It's probably more straightforward than Cruising with Ruben and the Jets, probably.
Yeah.
A lot of that's pretty straightforward, but this is straightforward.
The production on this is so much better. The musicianship's better. But it doesn't have that mother's mystique to it.
The mother's mystique. Right. There was something about the sound of that. Yeah. And I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah, Bob Seger did do that out on I don't know, like maybe on Night Moves or somewhere around there, I thought. But the next track's called Stick Together. Okay, now this one's 314 on the CD and 350 on the vinyl. So longer on the vinyl for some reason. Kind of a slow, funky track about being in a union, and I really don't think it's all that great, to be honest with you.
It's all right.
Okay. That leads us to the Jazz Discharge Party Hats. Okay, this is a lot like what the Dangerous Kitchen was, where Frank's reciting a story about the band meeting these chicks in Albuquerque at a show, and then afterward they go and hang out at the pool at the motel, and it's real pool's way too cold. I don't know, chicks throwing her underpants or something at somebody, and yeah, whatever.
That's another groupie song. It's like I thought we got out of that, but I guess we're back into that kind of stuff.
Right. So once again, Vi transcribes the off-key recitaling that Frank does, reciting, and then he replays it on his guitar. That and Dangerous Kitchen, there's a lot alike. So then we get Luigi and the Wise Guys, which is about 325. This was not on the vinyl. It's only on the CD. And it's an a cappella song. So, it's like a 50s a cappella thing, like the Persuasions, who opened for Zappa for at the Carnegie show way back in 1970. And they were on, I think, Bizarre or Straight. They did their first record on there. So it's just a nice a cappella song. Ray's singing his real high voice stuff. So, you are getting some of the original Mothers here.
I like Ray. Well, I shouldn't like Ray.
Not anymore.
I don't like Ray anymore. But I usually like Ray's work. So I have to separate all that. I think when Ray's working with Zappa and, I'm good.
So, okay, to the last track on here, Moggio, which 235 on the CD. My notes said it's 305 on the vinyl. I could not find a 305 version of this on YouTube, but I did see a version that said from the vinyl, and it was still 235 like the CD. So I don't know. I don't know if it's longer on the vinyl or not for sure. This to me is a classic Zappa style instrumental. It's very melodic at times with real complicated runs. Okay, this is one of the ones where Frank wrote some really difficult parts for Vi to play on the guitar. The Impossible. So if you listen close, you can hear Steve is playing this really complicated. It's usually he's matching what they're playing on like the marimba and stuff, and the keyboard, which is not easy. So we're gonna play this one. So
we're gonna play it. All right. Again, let us know what you think. Be thinking if you know this record. Be thinking. Well, actually, you can start giving me what your rating would be out of 10 while this plays, so we can keep things moving along because we've been. I went on several tangents. So all right, let's just play it. Here we go. Let us know what you think. Funkle meat or something?
You get the snorks from the original Mothers there. Mm-hmm. Gotta love that, right? And that's
he must be using the synclavier on this, I'm assuming. Do you think he is? Is this
not
when
yet.
He's starting to sample stuff?
Those snorks might have been sampled. I don't know, but no. But the synclavier is right around the corner, man. It is really getting close.
Well, like what Prod Rock dude says. Well, this is absolutely classic Zappa instrumental. Agree 100%.
That's why I picked that.
Jeff's coming in with a 6.5. We're getting a little bit lower scores on this record. If anybody else, Chad Wackerman smokes. Yeah. If anybody else has a rating out of this, let us know. Byron, what's your take on this record?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Be honest.
I didn't think Sex was that great of a song. Radio Was Broken was pretty good, but a little too long. The Dangerous Kitchen is not bad. Stick Together is not very good. Jazz as far as Party Hats is okay. I'm going a 7.
All right, 7. What's my thoughts on this record? I think that I'm kind of with you. I think this is a solid record. I don't think that the material's quite up to what we've had before. It's a little bit uneven. So being that I've said that, it is an uneven record. The solos are, I wish we had a little bit more Steve Vai that was more predominant on here. The instrumentals are fine. I think that, man, if you listen to that last track, that's as good as any instrumental that we've ever had on a Zappa record.
Yeah, the instrumentals are strong on here, and there's 2 or 3 really strong vocal tracks, and the rest are,
But I still like it because it's so accessible.
Well, there you go. You like this 80s, so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's as good as this release. I guess I'd probably give this. I think I would probably give this a 7.
All right.
Or maybe a 6.5. No, that seems so low. I think I'm going to go with the 7.
Okay. It's been saved into my little spreadsheet.
All right. I could always change. So to everybody that's heard this record, have you given your score so we can wrap this dog up?
How many scores tonight? I'm telling you.
I don't think a lot of people have heard these records. Well, we have like 33 watching right now.
Did Gary check out? Because Gary had scored the previous one. I haven't seen Gary.
Got a 7. Well, there might be a Sea of Tranquility showing. I don't know. We went over 7.5. We got a 7.5 from Bob. All right, Bob. Thanks. I think everybody's kind of lining up on the same page on this record.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same ballpark on this one.
If you're out there and you find it used in the bin and you don't have it, I would definitely pick it up. But I'm just saying.
Fine, cheap.
Right. Well, every time I go out in the wild and I see something I don't have, I buy it. So, but doing these shows with you, Byron, I damn near have everything now.
I'm getting there.
Takes up a lot of real estate down below.
I think we'll stop it when he dies, though, because I don't want you to have to buy all. I don't have hardly any of the stuff after he died, so.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, we did do that show with Ferraro. We did. Were you on that?
Philly 76.
Did you do Philly? You didn't do it.
I streamed it. I did it, but
I can't remember if you did it or not. I appreciate you doing that show. That was a good show. I like Philly 76 though. That was a great show. Bob says all Zappa's a must. All right. Well, I don't think anybody else is going to weigh in. Let's go ahead and calculate our scores. We've got a 7.14. Bob says that later catalog is amazing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to buy it. I mean, if,
Yeah,
if I find
damn
it
it, I'm not
used,
buying it.
but I'm not paying $30-40 a release, for stuff I already know 95% of. I mean,
So
I'd like
these-
to own it, but I'm just not going to buy it.
If you really think about it, these records are really close. We got a 7.94 for Witch, and then this one we got a 7.14.
Yeah, well,
That's pretty similar.
I like Twitch better, but
I like Witch better.
yeah. So we're going to do, I think we're going to do Them or Us next, which has got Vi.
Mhm.
You probably like that. I haven't decided if we're going to do anything on the classical stuff.
Well, you decide.
I don't know. I don't own any of those anymore. They're okay. Some of it's synclavier based, some of it's actual orchestras. We might combine them all into one show. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. We could just kind of fly through them some night, but we'll do Them or Us next.
So I've already got Them or Us. I bought that used. Now, I think I've got an original. I'm just saying. Found it at Half Price Books. It was an original Ryko that was pressed in Japan.
I think that's what I got.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
think this yet?
No. Well, I know there's been a lot of people asking us to do Thingfish.
Yeah, that'll be after Them or Us. So you pick that up soon.
Now that, I'm just curious. I wonder what version of that sounds the best. It's only come out on Ryko. It came out on, okay. We have different versions. I don't know if anybody knows this, but it came out on Ryko in the 80s. Came out on EMI Barking Pumpkin in 88. And then did it ever get a 2012 release? I don't think so. I guess I'll just get the Ryko. I don't think it much matters. I'm not sure how I'm gonna take Thingfish. I don't know. What do you have? What is the one you own?
This is my Them or Us.
Oh, okay. I thought you were pulling Thingfish.
This Them or Us says manufactured in the USA underneath of it. So I don't know.
Mine's a Japanese one.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's the same.
Yeah.
What's that, a Ryko?
Yeah, they're all Rykos. So this says made in USA as well, but they could have been printed in Japan, but I don't know.
Well, it probably did because the original Ryko that came out, it says the first release that it came out was in 84. So it would have lined up with being a made in Japan Ryko.
Actually, this says manufactured in the USA by Laser Video Incorporated.
Yeah,
So, anyway, yeah.
Well, I don't know, but the original one was Japanese, but I'm looking at the one here online and it's got an OBI on it. It is what it is.
Well,
Thingfish could either
be shows, so.
All right. Prog Rock Dude says Thingfish could be either the best or the worst thing ever. Thingfish is weird.
I think it depends on when you came into that album. We'll talk about that when we get there.
I gotta get that together. All right, cool. Well, anyway, so basically both of these albums came up with a 7, so I don't know. I think they're all decent records. There's not really a bad Zappa album. Let's be honest.
No, they didn't make music history or anything, but they're solid.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Dale and
Mozzios
Terry
they're all over this. We'll get to this.
All right, cool.
That'll
All
be
right,
February for that one.
everybody in the chat, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I appreciate the support. If you have not subscribed to the Warehouse, please do. There's always crap coming out all the time. I don't really mean crap. I'm quite proud of my crap, but there's a lot coming out. Like today, I kind of got a little bit of fatigue because I had so many graphics to produce today that I just went, I had a moment, Byron, and I never have a moment. Had a moment where I thought, can I not make one damn graphic today? No, everything's good. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Byron, stay on and we'll book the next show. Hot Garbage, thanks everybody for coming. Go out and check out some Zappa. Report in. If you don't have these, get them a report in. All right, we'll see everybody.